This is Kori, guys, coming to you live from the Diet Doc San Diego. And I wanted to take a little bit of time today to talk about habits, because we're all trying to break certain habits and we're trying to create positive, effective new ones. And I think it's really important to kind of understand the intricacies of habits and to get underneath the myths about habits, like, it only takes 21 days to form a new habit, right? Well, not so much. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. How many of you out there are trying to create a new habit right now? Something that I've always said is that every action, every thought, every emotion has the potential to become a habit, whether that is positive or negative, whether it's something that's going to be generative and in your service, or whether it's going to push you towards a not so great area of your life and then have you wishing that you'd never started it to begin with. But so as we go through our days, as you guys go through your days, a lot of us aren't necessarily paying attention to the reasons that we're doing certain things or the reasons that we engage in certain behaviors. So a valuable question to ask is, are we doing what we're doing just because we've always done it, just because it's become automatic, or is there an actual purpose to it? A positive purpose. That's the difference. Is there a positive purpose to what I'm doing? What am I motivated by? Or is there some meaning to it that we attribute our actions to? Because oftentimes, and you guys know this well, habits can feel very controlling. They can feel insidious. They can feel confining and frustrating. And particularly when they occur with automaticity, when it feels like they're just automatic and they happen without us even thinking about it, just because we've done it so often. We want positive behaviors like getting up and exercising, choosing healthy foods, breathing through difficult situations instead of being impulsive and flying off the handle. We want those behaviors to happen automatically, right? But the behaviors that we want to change can feel like they have a vice grip on us. Habits can be born in one moment, right? They can be born in 1 second. But not everything that we do will become a habit. Some things have the potential to become a habit and occur repeatedly because of physiology. Dopamine, guys, is released when we do something that's incredibly pleasurable. Imagine eating like chocolate cake, for example. Whoa, that's good. Okay, now I want to do it again, right? So the pleasure hormone can prompt us towards engaging in another behavior again. Those physiological reactions are really important. But, and you guys have heard me talk about this over and over and over again, we also have what's called a prefrontal cortex, right? Which allows us to make decisions about the behaviors that we want in our lives and that we want to show up again and again and again. For example, if I constantly interrupt a person that I'm having a discussion with, that pattern is likely to continue. If I do it over and over and over again, I'm probably going to keep doing it over and over and over again, unless that person is like, dude, you keep interrupting me, stop interrupting me. Or if we get in some sort of conflict, for example, some sort of conflict ensues because I keep interrupting someone. Or I notice changes in the relationship, like this person doesn't solicit me for conversation anymore. Now I'm thinking like, okay, what am I maybe doing that is causing this? So what happens is we start to pay attention in new ways based on the circumstances. That's where recognition comes from about our habits, about our behaviors. Now, on the other hand, if I wake up in the morning without hitting my snooze button, and I talked about this in a recent interview, I've never hit my snooze button, guys. I don't even know what that means. If you set your alarm, it's time to get up, right? Why hit the snooze button? If I get up without hitting the snooze button and I consciously think, okay, this is a positive habit I want to continue, now I'm in a position to set my intention toward repeatedly executing that behavior for the development of that habit. So, when we talk about weight loss, that's an area that a lot of you recognize requires a tremendous amount of effort, right? We want to learn new skills. We want to create new habits that are going to put us closer and closer toward that weight loss outcome. Well, at the Diet Doc, we have a program that's 7 weeks long. We have a program that's 14 weeks long. We have a program that's 21 weeks long. And we have a program that is a year long, because we recognize that it's going to take individuals a different amount of time to create the necessary habits to be able to maintain their weight loss goals. Well, you guys know the adage, it only takes 21 days to form a new habit. And I have people who come to me and they say, it only takes 21 days to form a habit, right? So all I'm going to need is a 7-week program. Okay, this person may have 7 pounds to lose. This person may have 14 pounds to lose. This person may have 50, may have 100 pounds to lose. And that makes a difference. But I'm here to tell you guys that adage, the 21 days to form a habit adage, is a myth. So here's how that myth came about. In the 1950s, there was a plastic surgeon named Maxwell Maltz, okay? And he wrote a book. Some of you may have read it. It is called Psycho-Cybernetics. And it became very, very popular. But in that book, he talks about how he noticed his patients would adjust to their new face or their new bodies that he had crafted for them in about 21 days. He noticed that. So he started paying attention to some of his own behaviors as well, and observed that for a lot of things, it took a minimum of 21 days in order for him to adjust and for those behaviors to become automatic, right? Well, everyone jumped on the bandwagon. Oh my God, it only takes 21 days. And they kind of forgot about the minimum part. So researchers have actually done studies now to demonstrate the truth of what habit formation takes. And unfortunately, maybe 21 days is not the magic number, guys. So in order to acquire a goal and change a behavior to become automatic, what the researchers found was that it takes approximately, on average, 66 days. They looked at 96 people over the course of a 12-week period as they worked towards various types of behavior change. And they found that the automaticity that we want for things to occur automatically took between 18 days and 254 days. So obviously there's a big span of time. And there are multiple factors that will influence how long it takes as well. Things like the circumstances of your life, you as a person, what your tendencies are. And we all know, like, when we're pursuing a goal, our moods can affect it, our relationships can affect it. And then there's the complexity of the behaviors themselves. Of course, if I am learning to, if I want washing my face at night before bed to become a habit, that's very different than knowing how to maintain my weight after a 25 to a 100 pound weight loss, right? So another factor that the researchers found is that to scaffold and build on those more effective habits, it's not a one-way road. And I talk about this over and over, guys, and you know this, that the participants in that study, and we as human beings, and I, when I'm working towards something, I fall down, I make mistakes, but I get up. I persist. Even when I don't necessarily feel motivated, and that's normal. We're not always going to feel like doing it and persisting and to move in that positive direction. We do it anyway sometimes. But the people, even when they felt that way, and even when they made mistakes and fell down, they still achieved their goals, and their goals became, that behavior became more automatic. And guys, I see this every day with my clients who are pursuing their weight loss and health goals. In the literature, what it shows among people who are those long-term maintainers, right? The people who lose the weight and they don't gain it back. They're in this small range where they fluctuate between for the rest of their lives. Research shows that for every year of maintenance that person maintains, the easier the behaviors become. They have expressed this. So between years 3 and years 5 is typically where most maintainers report that they no longer have to think so hard about what to eat, about how to construct their meals, about what's in the food that they're eating, about whether or not to exercise, and about all the decisions that they really had to think hard and be deliberate about when they first started dieting. But consider, guys, how food is so often tied to emotions. It's comfort, it's love, it's belonging. We go to it when we're feeling disconnected. And then also how it's tied to so many emotional situations. So like last night, I went to my grandma's 86th birthday, and it was all about the cheesecake. Everyone was eating dinner so they could get to the cheesecake. So you get my point. It's no surprise that individuals who are working towards a long-term weight loss goal require longer-term support to be able to be persistent through to that goal and that outcome. But so it's not a 21-day endeavor, okay? If you guys are working towards something that's super important, super meaningful, and you recognize it's not like I need to wash my face at night, but it's something bigger, something that holds a lot of value, and something that is going to require an enduring change like weight loss, like long-term weight loss, it behooves you to think about it less in terms of the ultimate outcome and more about the steps it's going to take to get there. And look at it as a process rather than just this one-time event. Not a 21-day event, but the marathon event.